Gamers, it's September.
Gamers, it's September.
Do you remember?
Do you remember the last time we recorded in September?
Curtis, that's really, really inappropriate. That is not the thing about September that I was asking if you remember, and that is
I'm sorry.
Really, no, it's okay.
My apologies.
You were supposed to never forget, but that's fine.
This episode goes up on the 21st of September, though. So
10 days since that fateful day.
I spent the entire prior to the podcast talking to Carl and Alex about how I bought a Japanese copy of FF7, and I'm very excited to play the original Japanese copy. And then even though I'm not streaming or speedrunning right now, I saw that there was no speedrun category for it on speedrun.com, but there is one for the Japanese international version. So I also just turned around and just now bought a Japanese international version of FF7. So I just have a ton of Japanese like FF7s and like Final Fantasy games coming to me right now.
I know
very
what we're doing
excited
next
about that.
season.
Yeah, next season, FF7, baby, finally.
We're gonna need to have Corey on retainer for that one.
Yeah, that's right.
happy birthday, Corey.
Did you know that there's a theme of trains going through that game? Anyway, let me refer you back to our first season. How y'all doing?
5 years ago.
Damn, has it really been 5 years?
We've been doing this podcast for 5 years.
That seems
No one should play Final Fantasy for 5 years. That's insane.
agreed. It feels both like way longer ago and also way shorter ago because time makes no sense. What with it being compressed and all.
Oh, I see what you did there. Very nice. Oh yeah, I heard you got a copy of FF8.
I did. I already have a copy of FF8, but I'm not going to see a copy of FF8 in the wild at the punk rock flea market for $10 with other games I would like to buy and not get it. This one had a cool little... It's not like a manual with it. It's like a Brady Games little mini guide. And like I tweeted a picture of it. It's just like the default like just artwork of Final Fantasy VIII of like I almost called her Ramona, Renoa just standing like with the sky, like you can see her like back, and it's just got a fucking model of Ifrit in there, and it says something like, warning, like this will give you tips and tricks on how to defeat the first boss in Final Fantasy VIII. Turn back now if you don't want to be spoiled, but if you do, you will learn all the tricks. And it says that same thing like twice in a row, and I was like, this fucking rules. I forget where we landed last time we talked about Brady guides versus Prima, but I feel like Brady is pretty much winning my heart over after that one from fucking 25 years ago or whenever 8 came out.
I could be totally wrong, but that seems so familiar that I'm like, did I have that? Did I like, or did a friend of mine have that?
I remember going to stores and getting like they look like brochure-sized books that were just full of all the cheat codes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Where you buy physical cheat books. I think even Scholastic, like this book fair, you can get like cheat books.
Shameful Scholastic just doing it for the sales, not doing it for the heart of the gamer.
Buying my Zoombinis and my cheat guides, my Game Sharks.
Yeah, FF8 mini walkthrough strategy content provided by Brady Games, and it says, the following is a brief walkthrough for the beginning of Final Fantasy VIII. If you don't want to know what's coming, don't read this section. However, should you choose to read on, you'll discover useful tips and strategies for getting started and for defeating the first boss. And then it says real big, warning, if you don't want to know, in like a different font and color. It just says the same thing again. If you don't want to know what's coming, don't read this section, etc.
That's awesome.
You have been warned.
That's so good.
But last we completed, if we were doing it, we just we got our pants, socks, and other garments scared off of us over at the Den of Woe.
Oh, that's right.
Real spooky week.
Yeah.
We had to take a week off.
Halloween's just around the corner.
There were ghosts.
There were ghosts that we killed a bunch of, and then we got a bunch of loot from.
Indeed,
if memory serves correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Kick that ghost ass.
And the next place to visit down the line is Jose Temple, I believe.
Yeah, we haven't really been here much.
We really haven't.
We just met Gipple and then left.
It was like blocked off a whole bunch, right?
Yeah, it's been
we can
blocked
go
off, and I think like the first time we came here, we just waited in line. We just like wait in line to talk to a guy behind a countertop, and then it was like, very good, Jose complete.
We got those tourist archaeological digs.
I can't remember. Did we talk about the stuff that Riku and Pain said after the Den of Woe?
I think so.
Because I don't know if we did all of it, because they have a
stuff.
lot of dialogue after. It's not just like you talk to Riku once or twice. It's like she has like multiple things where basically
I didn't get multiple things.
Yeah, so I'll just go through my screenshots here. She says, I guess we better take care of all three of the guys, Baralai and the gang.
Mm-hmm.
Riku says, he's possessed by Baralai, but he was also in the Den of Woe. So Shuyin's just a shadow born of fireflies. It's not him, Uni. So basically being like, it's stuff that we already know, but explicitly saying Shuyin is not Titus, and like the kind of search for Titus has basically been in vain.
What's interesting is if we didn't see that scene, because Riku brings up the point that we know that Baralai is possessed because of that scene we saw eavesdropping on them underneath Bheddle.
Right. This might be dialogue you only get if you had that scene.
But if we didn't, she would have come to that conclusion because of when we were in the far plane, Nuge and Gipple were not possessed.
Yeah.
Right.
That's her reasoning. That's her how she solves it. So they justify it regardless.
Yeah, like that Payne says, I did plan to tell you, Yuna, you've earned a lot of respect points. My guess is that Shuyin was only controlling Nuge when he shot at us. After that, Nuge sought out Vegnagun of his own free will. Meanwhile, Shuyin lay low, waiting for Nuge to get close enough. So basically, Payne's just kind of like putting it all together timeline-wise of being like, okay, Nuge was originally possessed by him, but then that, like, Shuyin left him and was laying low, and it was just kind of waiting for Nuge to get closer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Love it.
Closer. Sorry, I've had Neo stuck in my head, too.
But
no,
I've just about had it with this Shuyin guy. I want to go play with robots. And
True.
So, the World of Spear is getting really into battle bots. If you remember that.
Right. Also, one other thing. Speaking of the three guys,
you son of a bitch.
We are the Everything FNFF podcast.
Oh, true. Yeah,
that's right.
I was seriously thought that's where you were going, Carl. It's like the three guys.
No,
that's
my
us.
brain is dumb. I don't have COVID anymore, but I'm going to keep riding the COVID brain fog train. So that way people can't just be like, you're an idiot. It's like, yes, but have you considered? It's my version of sin toxins.
And I'm Alex.
Love it.
And I'm
Curtis.
And we got the grid containing holy magic last episode, the Supreme Light Garment grid that only takes 3 things to get, and we can use auto life and also use holy, which is kind of tempting for me.
Holy.
Robots!
Perhaps they're weak to holy.
Wait, are they?
I don't know. I was just kind of like looking through and
these are Yevon sanctioned robots.
We're getting into the part of Final Fantasy X too that I'm very excited about because we are actually fighting bosses that are going to be very difficult and require strategizing.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of just looking through the garment grids and being like, which ones can I use for upcoming like real fucked up boss fights? I kind of want to play.
I've actually finally swapped out my accessories after this episode because of just how many we get.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I do feel like this is like the first time in the game where like holding A throughout the battle is not an option. It just has been a way to beat everything up to this point.
Yep. Now it's like we should probably plan things ahead, and I got really excited because I think there's some accessory talk that I'll want to do a little later on. But when we go to Jose Temple, it tells us the mission is the faction's trump card. The machine faction has made some kind of weapon in Gipple's absence, and now they want us to drop by. Gullwig guinea pigs, good to go? Question mark?
Now, given what I just said about we finally have to start trying on bosses and pressing A and holding
not this boss right in front of us.
Yeah, this boss actually, you can just hold A on this guy for now.
I think with this boss in particular, if you did a lot of digging in the desert already, and you loved that mini game so much, and you got all the pieces or whatever. One, you locked yourself out of 100%. Two, this boss fight might be vastly different than the one we're about to talk about.
Yes. So we get to Jose Temple, and like a lot of times I've been very guilty this season of not talking to NPCs, of instead being like, okay, I got to get through like a bunch of missions. Let me just go ahead and plow through it and not talk to everybody just standing around and sitting around or whatever. But I did talk to some NPCs this time, and I do appreciate that there are people just sitting around being like, damn, monkeys are so cool. Wish I could be a monkey just chilling. And I was like, yeah, that's fair, bro.
Could play my days away without a care in the world. Like, fuck yes.
Yeah. Then also there's like an Al-Bhed guy who I don't have enough letters to really get what he's saying. But the guy next to him is like, that guy's so infatuated with you, he can't concentrate on anything.
Yeah.
Like,
is it the larger fella who speaks Al-Bhed? It says, in Al-Bhed he says, it really is the Lady Una herself. This is the happiest day of my life.
Oh, okay.
He says, nice me to you. I mean, me's to nice to you.
Oh, that's funny too. If you tried to like translate it or like use like process of elimination, be like, what the fuck is this guy saying? It doesn't make any sense. I think he's saying this.
That's awesome. Yeah, usually I have like most of words uncovered now, but in the word herself, I have the S and that's it. So.
Let me see if I have the same thing. S. Yeah. Yep. That's the same for me.
That's all you have.
I can't make any sense of that.
I know the guard has mentioned there's no more fiends since we were last here, I guess.
Yeah, and he says, unfortunately, there's no Gipple either. And then you talk to the other guard, and he says, apparently, Nuj and Barreleye are missing too. Who knows where they've gone, or what could have brought them there in the first place? What a weird way to muse about it. It's like, obviously, we know all of the answers to that. But it's just like, oh, I haven't seen those guys around. I wonder where they went. Or what was the cause of them going there? It's like, all right.
So, like I said, I don't have all the Al-Bhed primers yet. But one thing I do like, and it's rare when it happens, but because in the Al-Bhed language to English, they just changed the consonants and vowels. So consonants and vowels are still in the same places that they would be otherwise, right? Mm-hmm. Rarely it'll still make a word. Like the combination of things that you get will still make words or sound like words. And it really looks like when we enter Jose Temple and Al-Bhed comes up to us and says, we did NASCAR on a Machina.
Oh, yeah. It does look
and I'm like, hell yeah, brother.
We did NASCAR.
They did NASCAR on a grape. It's incredible. But they did NASCAR on a Machina and constructed and bimmed a super weapon. So I'm excited about
not Avan. Ooh, coomed,
coomed,
drink. It straight up just says drink. It's like, hell yeah, brother.
Oh, he said coomed bad this drink.
Coomed bad this drink. Hell yeah, brother. I'll drink to that, baby.
Yeah.
It says, not even you could beat this thing.
What was that? What's the
cool.
first
I'm still gonna
line?
drink this beer.
We did research on Machina construction and built a super weapon.
Okay.
NASCAR would have been cool though. They have to test them against each other.
Listen, guys, I think that would be absolutely absurd if we're in like the final-ish chapter of a Final Fantasy game and all of a sudden it becomes NASCAR and it has something to do with like machines and all kinds of like weird religious shit. That sounds... Final Fantasy gets a little weird, but I don't think they'd ever go that far.
Well, because they did NASCAR on a Machina, of course, it only has one move.
Just called Guado crashed his car into a wall.
Oh no, don't do it. Because it's NASCAR, they only have one move on that Machina, and it is turning left, so
I'm trying to think of an analog for Praise Dale and Raise Hell in Final Fantasy terms, but my brain's just not doing it.
I was just listening to a podcast about the history of stealth and camouflage in like military weapons.
Sure,
and they said Praise Dale and Raise Hell, and I was like, hell yeah, brother.
Are they also building a super weapon?
They're also building a Machina.
NASCAR is one of those things that I have absolutely no affection for. Almost like probably negative affection for when we get right down to it. But at the same time, I feel like that would change in a fucking heartbeat if I went to a NASCAR event.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I feel like it being there, I'd be like, oh no, shit, I do get it. Like the American genes that I have would just activate.
It's just American football of racing cars. Yeah, it's just like I get there fast and hard.
I feel like any sport, I'm trying to think if this is true across the board, but I think it is true across the board. If you could put me in any location, you just set me down in front of almost anything, and then a person comes around and goes like, would you like nachos? I'd be like, you know what? This is pretty good, actually.
Especially if the nachos are a gigantic hat that has that you can break off pieces of and dip into the nacho cheese.
Nacho man.
Pain, of course, we've established that she can speak Al-Bhed. She hears that they're like, oh, you couldn't even beat our kick-ass new super weapon. She just says, well, now that sounds like a dare. Riku says he wants us to challenge their unbeatable machina. And then we get like a prompt about the experiment. The Machina's power will increase if you've found any assemblies in the desert. The experiment will break if defeated, but repair manuals can be used to fix it up for a rematch. Its current stats are as follows. For me, and if you're following along with the podcast, attack, level 1. Defense, level 1. Special, level 1.
Yeah.
So that is why we did not search for all of that shit in the desert, because we have to see it and beat it at a low level, and then we have to beef it all the way up and then fight it again.
I wonder if this has anything to do with the explosions that were happening in the dig site.
Oh.
Because we reached out to them on the comm sphere and there was like a lot of shit going down. Unless this has to do with the big fiend.
I think it might be the big fiend.
Okay, we haven't gotten to that yet.
But yeah,
maybe it was the Cactuars. We also have not figured out that Cactuar shit yet.
We haven't got to talk about what's his name? Benzo.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Benzo. Yeah.
But the
soon we get to fight the Hat Man if we do enough of Benzo's missions.
You're right, Curtis.
Yes, I'm reading about the experiment real quick. Okay, this is why. Okay,
the Al-Bhed comes up and in Al-Bhed says, "How bad it? Ready to lose?"
So I did want to look up. There are only 5 repair manuals in the game. So
okay.
So you have to be very careful about how often you do it. So even if you are trying to fight it at each level, or you're not really paying attention, you don't want to fix it that often, because after 5 times, there are no more repair manuals. You cannot defeat it at full power then.
Yeah, so basically you can do this, like it would have probably been unlikely for us to fully max it out unless you like did completionist right away. I think the only thing that really happens is like we were kind of talking about that warning, and I was worried about it of it locking me out of something, but we only have to defeat it twice. Once when its attack, special, and defense is lower than level 5, and another time when they're all maxed out.
Right.
So I think it's pretty easy to not accidentally lock yourself out, but better safe than sorry. And fighting it at all level 1 is pretty funny because they're very confident in it.
Yeah, and like, so okay, yeah, let's get into the battle a little bit here.
Yeah, we all run into where the cloister would be, and we see it there, and it says we get like the mission time prompt, and it says Masterpiece Theater. Prove your strength by smashing the Machina faction's masterpiece. Sphere's most powerful Machina weapon? ?
I do like the look of the experiment. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool looking.
Teeny little face.
It's got a teeny little face.
Is that what that is?
It's got
on the top.
Oh my god, yeah, it does. I didn't even realize that. That's cute.
It's just got like
it looks like the Prince of Cosmos or like a weird Persona creature where it's just like the 2 little like unsettling eyes in the middle of like an anime object.
It has like almost the shape of a human, but it's so like wide in the middle that it looks like what's that one Pokemon that like Bronzong or whatever evolves into that looks like the bell, or like the thing at the top of the Tower of the Gods in Wind Waker like looks like.
Yeah.
So it just looks like he's got very skinny, weird, like T-Rex kind of arms that are actually guns, and it's just like a very bell-shaped.
The human portion of it is just like the torso, right? That's like
it's like it doesn't have a head. Like if you take away the side things, it kind of looks like it would have the approximation of a human torso, but instead of having a head, it has like a little face on the chest.
Right. And like these like two like what look like big engines on the back, and like a bunch of drills on the front, like on the front bottom. It had just like a ton of drills.
Oh
aiming out.
yeah.
I think it's like a very
real
nice
battle
touch.
bots. Like
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. I was like, oh, they got into battle bots. Like they're like
Yeah.
ready to go.
They probably used the comm sphere. Remember, they were like, "Oh, can we use this for something?"
Now, my understanding is that since I was like 10 years old, whenever actual battle bots like came out or whatever, that like in some degree it has continued to go to this day, but just not like, I guess, on like primetime TV like it was when I was younger. But I remember being very young and talking to some of my cousins and being like, man, the wedge always wins. No matter like what
ultimate
weapons you put
form.
on it. Yeah, you can put like flamethrowers and axes and swords and spinning blades. If you have the wedge, you just like will win.
I think BattleBots, and this is me speaking strictly of like my own experience with that as a property, that might be the show that is the most like seen show that no one has ever actually sat down and actually watched. It's just kind of the thing where you're channel surfing and you're flipping through and you're like, oh, okay, fucking Spike TV or fucking G4 or whatever the fuck. It's
sports.
on.
It's like short-term sportsmanship where you can just root for something. Like, cool, throw it on, throw the game on.
I'm 15 minutes into the episode, so there's probably only 5 minutes of actual like content left on it. I'll watch this. Like, I've never sat down, I don't think, and watched a full episode of BattleBots, but I feel like I've seen enough of it that like I've seen all the good shit in BattleBots. I'm pretty confident, even though I did not ever seek it out or watch it that much.
Remember when Discovery was just full of just a bunch of guys in garages making cool ass reality TV shows like Junkyard Wars?
Yeah,
no,
right.
that sounds awesome. I know what you're talking about. I don't think I've seen Junkyard Wars though.
Yeah, it's kind of a challenge where they go around a junkyard, like build something.
Is
God, that
there?
sounds awesome. That's the ideal male experience. Is that
Very, very Machina.
Ooh, at least on Amazon they do have BattleBot Season 1.
how much?
Where was it? Boop, 1 second.
Let me stop you there. Not worth it. I will watch it the way the creators intended, which is I don't want to watch fucking No Whammy or whatever that game show was on the Game Show
Right.
Network. So I went one channel above it and was like, I'll watch 5 minutes of BattleBots.
You're in luck because this video is not available in our location.
It's on Discovery
okay.
Plus.
I
and
thought
Max.
you meant like you were buying season 1 DVD of BattleBots.
No.
With commentary, which honestly would probably be worth it to hear these fucking nerds talk about BattleBots.
I kind of want to watch the first season now to just see if I like enjoy it, like I thought that I did when I was a kid.
Okay, so Robot Wars came before BattleBots.
Was Robot Wars before?
It was from the 90s, yeah.
Maybe that
similar.
was the one I watched.
Speaking of Robot Wars, how did you guys go to war with this robot?
Thank you, Carl. I was like, how are we gonna get out of this?
Oh, God, we're too deep into. We're now a BattleBots podcast. Oh fuck!
It didn't,
oh,
it didn't
fuck,
take
no.
too long. It was very, very short, if I recall.
I did kind of the opposite of what Curtis was saying, which is like the just push A bunch and win. I pushed A like probably 3 times because I had Pain and Yuna both in Berserker mode, and then just let them fucking like double maul the shit out of this thing like 4 times per each of its turn. Riku did pass out. I was gonna have her do the alchemist thing of just like keeping us topped off, but it was no problem. It was like that's a risky strat, is just only having Berserk, but it was like they were both attacking in such a way that I would get the chain with Pain, so she would be doing like 4,000 damage each time she attacked.
I was wondering if you were getting ready to say the same thing that I was getting ready to say, because I was like, yeah, I probably only pushed A like 4 times because I had 2 Dark Knights.
Yep.
And just used Darkness 4 times and it was over.
Yep. Love it.
Yeah, he has a like 18,000 HP roughly, is like in that area. So like if you're doing like decent thousands worth of damage, it's like a 2 or 3 go round fight.
Yeah.
So
I'm
it's pretty
excited to fight
fast.
it at full power.
Yeah. I don't remember at all like the difficulty at full power. So let's so we haven't done it yet. We're kind of following, like I said, we're following the guide on Steam. So we have like a we'll come back to this later in the podcast.
Once we're back from Beaconell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do all the Beaconell stuff eventually,
juice it
so
up.
we'll just put that all together, and we'll come back and see how this boss actually handles.
It's interesting because I'm looking at the stats for it right now, and like it starts out like when we fight it right now, its magic is 1, and its defense is 1, and its magic defense is 1, and it has like I said, like roughly 18,000 HP. At level 5, it has the same amount of HP. All that's changing are its stats.
Yeah, so we're probably doing a lot less damage to it.
Defense because it's so high.
Yeah, it goes to 205 at level 5, so like it's a large change. So I'm interested to see how that'll work.
Shit if that works.
Say what?
Power break it all the way back down to 1. Be like, how many times do I got to teach you this lesson? Bam, berserk, berserk, berserk.
I think I read in the wiki on the fandom, I think it said use power break and armor break.
Oh shit! See, there you go.
Yeah.
Easy, dude.
In the European version, it's immune to power break.
See, that's smart. That would be good for the machine faction to think of that as the first thing I think of how to defeat this fucking thing, and it's the way to defeat it.
My deepest apologies to PAL region for that. Yeah, my deepest apologies to the PAL region for that, but also my deepest jealousy for recently I found out that the PAL version of the PS1 Final Fantasies got the super tasteful disc art. Incredible. Ooh, nice. Love that.
Okay, so like I think attack level 1, its attack power is 112, and it goes up to 215 when it's at level 5.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I don't know if it says on the fandom.
Yeah, I think another reason why this fight was particularly easy for me was at the end of last episode when we got a whole bunch of loot from all of those fights that we had to do, like the kind of little mini boss rush that we did. One of the things that we get is a Kaiser Knuckles. And that accessory is really fucking kick-ass, because what that accessory does is it gives you plus 50 to your strength stat. So I put that on Pain, and then I realized, hang on a second, I also have another one of these somehow. I don't know where I got the second
Double knuckled up.
I was like, can we do Pain's got two hands. Can she wear brass knuckles in both hands? And sure enough, she fucking can. So I just got a free extra 100 strength on her. And I was like, oh,
that's
man.
Awesome. That's sick.
That feels good.
That's sick, yeah.
So this thing is supposed to fight Vegnagun.
Yeah, it makes sense that they're like, I guess it was also, well, they just started making this, right?
They already
this doesn't predate because anything with like the Machina, you're like, oh, okay, well this is the Sin Buster armor that they're working on, but that was pretty much what Vegnagun was, so it makes sense that they're kind of developing it to try and kill Vegnagun.
Yeah, it's fair. But after we beat it, the Al-Bhed, one of the engineers, comes into the room.
We really trashed it. Tell him this. Diga Windelich Yut Krujayan.
And Yuna like proudly turns around and in Al-Bhed says, "Take your tin can and shove it."
She's like doing like a sassy pose too. Like she doesn't know what she's saying, I think.
Yeah, she has no idea. Yeah. And then I don't have enough to be able to tell what the engineer says back if either of you
I think he
that.
says, "I like your attitude."
Guess I have to.
Oh yeah, guess yeah.
Guess I have to build a stronger machine.
Yeah, no worries. What's good about mocking is they can be built a new. Oh no, that's if we say I'm sorry.
He does say like I guess I like your attitude. Guess I have to build a stronger machina. And Yuna's like very happy. She like
very cute face. She's like
she's
super
very cute face. She goes, "Oh, he understood me." And then Riku and Al-Bhed says, "Watch your language."
Nice.
It's really good. And then we get like a prompt that says, "Find repair manuals and you can fight the experiment again. It's still a work in progress, so you can power it up even more with any special assemblies you dig up in the desert."
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you find these assemblies before or after the experiment is repaired. Upgrades are installed as soon as you find them. It's pretty nice.
And then we get another Al-Bhed primer and 26, no less. I was like, so I guess, that's the last letter of the alphabet.
I guess with the upgrades... Oh, no, okay, so the upgrades are installed as soon as you find them. So you have to manually repair it, but the upgrades will be automatically installed, it sounds like.
Yeah, you have to have the repair manual to bring it back. But when you do, it will have all the stats that you have for those manuals. So we didn't... I'm debating, do we want to talk about that now or in Beaconell? Maybe we talk about it now, and then we'll just talk about the art of digging in Beaconell. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't done it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't done it either. So
So I won't talk about like finding them so much as like the way it works, I guess. So basically, like we saw that there's a score or a ranking for attack, for special, and for defense.
Mm-hmm.
And as we get the assemblies, those go up. But when we actually do go digging, there are 3 kinds of each kind of assembly too. So there's actually 9 different types of items we can pick up.
Oh, geez.
So you don't just pick up like attack assembly and then it goes to level 2. You'll pick up an attack assembly. I think it's A, S, and Z. Is that right? I'm gonna look it up right now. Yes, A, S, and Z. And there's a different point value to get it to level up. So A's are worth 1 point, S's are worth like 3 or something. 3, and Z's are worth 5. And to get it to level 5, we need 38 in that category. So, if you got like 38 A's in a certain stat, or just 8 Z's would be enough.
Okay.
So that's basically how we build it up over
Sounds
time.
like
So when we go to Beacon Ale, we'll be digging for a while, depending on...
Sounds like some fun RNG that we're going to have to contend with.
Luckily, like we'll talk about it when we get to Beacon Ale, but like the process of digging is not that hard, so it's not that bad. But it takes a while. You need a bunch of those assemblies. And then obviously you can, because there are enough repair manuals, you could repair it and fight it a couple times if you want to. You just need to not repair it 5 times. Honestly, I'm not sure that I think the repair manuals are scattered through the world, if I remember right, or you get them in different places. So I wouldn't do it more than like twice, just to be sure that you're not like missing any repair manuals too.
I'm trying to see if there's any benefit to fighting it multiple like, do you get a lot of gil or anything? Like,
you might be able to get like different drops. I see that there's like a common drop of an elixir, and that's kind of like rare-ish.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the common drop is elixir, and it also has a rare drop of elixir, which you can get a turbo ether, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like that doesn't sound like too high value of a thing to do it multiple times.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Level 2. Oh, level 2, it changes. I guess not really at all of what it drops.
Yeah. All the drops and steals are the same all the way through. So I'm really not sure why you would want to do multiple fights, but the option's there if you want it. And yeah, like we were saying, the stats are different on the experiment. Its special move is different too, depending on what level you fight it at. It has like a missile barrage attack. And the way the missile barrage attack works is different depending on what level it is. So if we fought it like right now, I think right now it doesn't even use the barrage, but at level 2 at very least, it hits like 2 or 3 party members and does like a decent amount of damage. At level 5, it hits 10 times. So it just hits 10 sets of the 3 party members that you have for like,
damn.
I think it's like 5-6 times the amount of damage it would have done previously. So not only does it have better stats, it also has better attacks. Like the attacks that it has are upgraded, which I think is pretty interesting. It's a good way to do it. It's an interesting way to do that.
Yeah, it looks like it does have 40 AP, which if I'm reading this correctly, you'll get 40 AP each time you defeat it, which might be kind of worth it. But apparently AP, I always just thought that AP only leveled up when you like used your moves. It's like, oh, I have to get this to like 50 AP or something, so I have to use it over.
Yeah, you still get them when you beat enemies, and certain jobs get them when they use their skills.
When they use certain skills, yeah. Okay, so it looks like AP is capped at 99 per battle, though.
Okay.
So defeated enemies will award 1 AP for all party members, not just the ones who defeated it. Oversold enemies will be 2 AP each. Bosses may award as much as 40 AP. Okay, so doing this boss fight multiple times is probably an easy way to get 40 AP. I'm also wondering if there's a way to like double the AP that you get.
Oh, there is a way to double your AP, and we'll talk about it in this episode.
Okay, nice.
So we're not there yet, but we will talk about it.
Oh, so now what?
But yeah, I think that's it for Jose Temple.
Yeah, so now what? I'm getting
for
the hell
now.
out of
We got to
Jose.
come back later and finish the episode by killing that thing or whatever.
Yeah. So next up would be Moonflow. I didn't get the information for diving into Moonflow because I just walked there because we're right there. Does anybody have that?
I think what, like back at the on the Celsius?
Yeah, like the Celsius dialogue.
Yeah. Riku says, if they repair the Machina weapon, we'll be able to fight it again and get that 40 AP, apparently. Payne says, if we find any items that can be used for repairs, we should bring them to the machine faction. That's about it. And the Moonflow mission prompt is Tobley's... God, that's a hard thing for me to say. Tobley's planning another concert after his success organizing Yunapalooza. Will it sell out or just fall flat?
It's true. I guess, yeah. He somehow was involved in the Yunapalooza. I don't remember how.
Well, he and the High Pillows.
Yeah, he sent out the High Pillows to
hype men.
Yeah.
I do like the little dialogue here around the Moonflow before you like take the shoe puff over and everything.
Yeah.
Because it's something that they've been alluding to every time we've talked to people around this like bus stop or whatever it is. I guess it's a shoe puff stop. This little bench says, finally, Tobley seems to have figured out what his audience wants. And then there's like a little kid running around singing shoe puff, shoe puff, shoe puff. There's a shoe puff in the show. And it's like, finally, the fucking dude knows what sells.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that show Tobley's putting on is pretty decent. I'd say Tobley has many more years of entertaining ahead of him. So Tobley, people are digging what he's doing now.
They've come around on Tobley, yeah. And it's funny because
I knew Tobley would open his eyes to the shoe puff's endless potential. Yeah, he's not as washed up as I thought. It appears I've underestimated. People are fucking wild for the shoe puff. Why wouldn't they be?
That's cool. It is funny because it does not really seem much different than the other concerts he's done, I guess. The shoe puff is the only difference, right?
Yeah, I think... Curtis?
You're muted.
Am I muted now?
No.
God damn it.
We're going to start a Patreon so we can get Curtis a new XLR cable.
Oh, I had no idea. It's been working for me the whole time, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
Yeah.
I was looking down at my thing and I was like, oh man, it went quiet. I was like, did my internet get fucked up? I also felt rude for
Did we
not
get the
saying
line
anything.
where I said they would go nuts for a zoo?
No.
Okay. Well, dear listeners, I believe that the people of Spirit would go fucking nuts if they saw a zoo.
The Flappy Bird thing? The big flappy dragon we killed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. No,
well, there was something.
I mean, the Kevin James kind of zoo.
There was something, some dialogue here that's very, very dark and fucked up, and kind of paints my whole.
Wait.
Did you see this?
Was Mark Wahlberg the person in We Bought a Zoo?
I don't think it was Kevin James, but I could be wrong.
Oh. Did Kevin James
Matt Damon, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was Matt Damon. I don't think
Did Kevin James not play in a movie about a zoo?
Yeah, Paul Blart probably has a zoo in it.
This is important.
Did you guys get the really fucked
important.
up?
I feel like a fool.
King of Queens.
I'm sorry. In 2011, he was in a movie called Zookeeper.
Oh, right. Of course.
Who could forget beloved Zookeeper? We had to do a little bit of work for that one, but
I did not have the Kevin James Ultimania on hand.
the Blartopedia.
The Blartopedia. Oh god!
Did you guys get like the really fucked up dialogue though?
A blart sounds like a kind of like flan type enemy. Just be like wearing a tie.
My son's name is also Blart. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, just everyone's kind of talking about they're excited about the shoe puff, but someone said something that like literally like chilled me to my soul. You talk to a little kid here and they say, I want to go play on the Calmlands next. I hear they've got games and stuff across the plane.
Yo, they got games on that?
No, I don't want anything to do with any fucking games on the Calmlands, dude. That shit, I will never forget how fucked up that was in 10.
Yeah, that was not the most fun. But Tobley is also here, obviously doing his show, and it really is just like in the Moonflow, there is just a shoe puff rolling around with like.
Just chilling in the fucking bog.
Yeah, just got musicians on top of it. Like, that's his show. It's like, damn, what if you put music on the shoe puff? That'd be fucking nuts.
Someone in the crowd says, "This is as good as your show." It's like, damn, dude. Like, Yuna got to show like a horrifying event to everyone, like projected by accident while singing like a beautiful and heartfelt song. And they're like, yo, but this shit's got a shoe puff.
Yeah, this one's got a fucking shoe puff on it. It's not even like amplified. There's just some people like sitting on a shoe puff playing music.
What song are they playing? I think they're playing.
It's just like a boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom,
I think when like we inevitably join the thing, don't they play like a rendition of the
No, that's in Guado
Oh, that's in
Salam.
Guado Salam. Okay, never mind. So
This is just the
they're
weird
just playing some weird fucking like noise.
funky warp. But if
noise
you like
set.
listen to them outside the music, they're still just doing like the tuneless like blurp, blurp, and like bling bling, like just not actually doing anything. They do this all the time. They just like have them play sound effects, not like I don't know if this music that we're hearing is diegetic or if what they're actually playing.
They're just sitting up there like tuning their instruments, and everybody on the shore is just like, fuck yeah, this rules.
Yeah, next time you ask, I was like, yo, I got a gig coming up. It was like, you should come. I was like, is there going to be a shoe puff there?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I might go.
Just a bunch of atonal music on top of an
When's
animal.
the shoe puff come on? I'll totally be there. What time's your shoe puff?
I keep thinking that like the equivalent would be like an elephant, so I keep imagining like just an atonal band playing, like sitting on an elephant and being like, "This is the greatest piece of entertainment there has ever been."
Well, I know what you guys should do for a Human Fly and Zaku set. Just fucking play on an elephant.
Wait, what was the guy who owns Madison Square Garden who always has his band open for the fucking Eagles?
Jonathan Square Garden, I think, is his name.
Yeah, it's JD in the Straight Shot.
Oh, I had no idea.
They're like a really bad kind of boomer rock band, but because he owns Madison Square Garden, he always books his band to play.
Oh my gosh!
just for the Eagles, that's it's pretty interesting.
Or other bands he's probably like a huge fan of, but they're become kind of infamous for just being so.
That's amazing.
With Allman Brothers, Easy Top, Keith Urban, other like country rock bands, but it's.
One time,
it's just, this is what it feels like with Tobly. It's like, oh yeah, like we totally got Yunapalooza. Show so I'll get my band to play now.
That's so funny. You said the Allman Brothers. That reminds me of years and years ago. My band played Music Fest in PA, and we just played a little tiny stage that was like on the way to the exit. And our set started like right around the same time that the Allman Brothers were ending their set at the main stage, and it was like towards the end of the night. So all the Allman Brothers like fans were like getting ready to leave and getting to the parking lot and stuff, but they walked past us. So I always joked that I was like, oh yeah, it was nice of the Allman Brothers to open for us, but we're headlining this little gig. That was awesome. At the Steelworks in Pennsylvania. So like in the distance there's just a big fucking like Shinra like looking ass like reactor. I had a picture of me holding my bass like the Buster Sword.
Is that what that's from?
Yeah,
because I've seen that picture of you.
Yeah, that's from when the Allman Brothers opened for me.
Wow, damn.
But Toby comes up to us after we hear the crowd eating this shit up.
Oh, they're loving it.
Yunapalooza was a super smasherific success. I'm also looking at his outfit and realizing that it just looks like a fucking Cheesecake Factory menu, like with all the bullshit fucking colors all over it. That's like just looks like shit.
He's an Uncle Unca.
Yeah. But yeah, he says, but we mustn't let success go to our heads. No. We must succeed again once more. Classic capitalist shit. Like, sure, we made record profits last year, but if we don't make just as much of equal record profits this year, then you're all fired.
It's all about live service and continued income.
Yeah,
that's right.
He doesn't have to pay the shoe puff, so it's all just fucking profit.
Or the high pillow. He's not paying anybody.
Oh, for ridiculous. Sure. This dude is not paying the high pillow at all.
Oh my gosh.
No.
There's a reason the youth have like decided to fuck off Tobly and go join the youth league.
Yeah.
Well, do relax and enjoy it. The show, I mean. I know. As long as you're here, why don't you join them up on stage? Since you are you're most welcome to. In fact, I want you to. I insist.
And we can say, we'll go watch, let's go on stage, or time to get going. And I think the thing that we have to do is say, let's go on stage.
Yeah.
I didn't see what happens if you do any of the other ones.
I love this because I feel like the mission is the reward in a weird way, and there's nothing to do, right? Like
Yes.
you don't do anything.
You just change
fucking
the camera
chill.
angles.
Yeah, you just okay. So like the camera comes up, or the scene comes up, and it's just Yunariku and Pain also sitting on this like gazebo that's built on top of the shoe puff, right?
Yeah, it's the top of the thing in Lord of the Rings. Those elephants.
I guess
The Oliphants.
this is the thing that they were sitting in when Riku attacked them in FF10, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yuna's just standing up front, like looking shy, standing with her arms behind her back. And
I
everyone
do
else
like
is
the
kinda
Hypello
lounging.
playing the fucking didgeridoo.
Yeah.
That's his bong.
That's
it-
true. Yeah, that's his hookah or whatever.
What's the famous saxophone song? It's like da 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 da.
Oh, yeah.
Do-do-do.
Baker Street.
He's
I
like
was
playing
thinking
that.
bimp. Bimp.
How does Oh god, what's the
Careless Whisper.
how does Careless Whisper go?
Yeah.
It just said they're playing that with the pillow.
Shout out to Sexy Sax Man.
Ricola.
But it is cool though, because like we do see like some positions that I feel like we haven't seen the characters like sit and stand in, right? Like Pain leaning up against the wall is cool, and Riku's like chilling,
Pain?
sitting.
Pain is leaning against she's like sitting on like a little like I don't even know the fucking like newel post looking ass thing, like
Yeah.
this big newel post thing at the top of it with like a flag on it. But she also just looks like she's straight up fucking sleeping, which I think is awesome. As well.
Yeah.
And these little drones are flying around. I can't tell if they're the cameras or the lighting. They're all
or
flying
both.
around. Zip.
I'm just zooming into one of the shots now to where like I wish I had it on my like Switch handheld right now, not on my TV, but it's just the Hypello centered right in my screen, super enormous, just looking off straight into the distance.
That
and
fucking rocks.
holding his big didgeridoo.
Just like this big freaking pipe. Yeah. that's a good
Giant
one.
Hypello. We'll make it a sticker in the Discord.
Yeah.
Is a Hypello dude.
I think there's also a weird thing, like we're getting real deep into it here, but the mechanics of how this works is like you have the toggle of like L and R to change the camera, and you can hit B to like exit as well. But each time you hit it, I think it like there's no set camera. You're not cycling
it just
through
like
set cameras. It's like
randomizes them.
random because I kept trying to go back and get a screenshot of Pain sleeping, and I just like kept hitting it, and I was like not getting her, and I was just like going like left, right, left, right, left, right, and it was like different each time. I was like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So,
like,
it's
I
almost
don't-
like there's
I
like
don't-
no use to having
It's
left
a
and
very
right.
weird mission. Like it's I love it because it's so fucking like weird. It was like, oh god, Tobler's gonna have us sing again. He's like, no, you can just go stand up there. That's fine.
And like that is the mission. Like we're done. We did it. We-
Essentially, it's like a stationary parade. It's like you don't have to sing or anything. It's like you can just stand up there.
Yeah.
Curtis, that's so good.
So yeah, it's like it's bad, but it's oh so good. So I kind of love it.
It's a screensaver.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah, that would be a
more
good screen.
more missions. The mission and the reward should just be screensaver.
Just make this your BRB screen on stream.
Yeah, that'd be really. Yeah, you can input things to change the camera angle. Or something.
yeah.
That'd be fun. Or like we can upload it to YouTube of just like like the ambient noise. And
You know,
it's just like cycling through.
That actually wouldn't be hard at all because I have like a thing for Twitch Plays, like for Twitch Plays Pokemon and stuff, like a little script set up for it. So actually getting like that to be your like starting soon screen or something, or like a BRB screen, and then having like chat be like switch camera would
Switch
be very
camera,
easy.
500 bits.
Yeah, right.
That should be very fun. Yeah, you just load up us.
Like a save state.
Yeah, just load up a save state of this screen and just only have LR, L1, and R2 or whatever.
Yeah.
That and the LeBlanc mini game. We need a code.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so when we're done, we hit B.
We're done just fucking chilling, and then Tobley says, "Wow, it's happening. It's hot. I'm burning.
I'm burning.
I'm burning for you. Thank you so much. Really and truly, I must give you a little something in return."
This is just I just realized it's like the equivalent of just like the the people who hang out behind the DJ at like the boiler room.
Yeah.
That's all we were like. Oh yeah, there's people who go nuts.
I was thinking it's like when you see people on the side of a stage at like a show, and they
VIP.
like you can if you're following them or whatever, like if they're like roadies that you follow, you can see like behind the like backstage like view of the concert or whatever. Riku says, "Oh, that's okay. We really enjoyed doing it." Like again, doing what? Well, I'm delighted that you were so entertained. Yuna strikes like a cool ass pose.
Yeah. He says, "Yup."
If we didn't do anything, I think if this because I'm looking at the concluded script as well. If we didn't visit Mihen in chapters 2, 3, or 4, it's basically the same. With people are kind of more kind of milk.
Like this show, which is exactly the same, sucks.
Yeah. They're just still riding the high of the last thing, and they're like, "Damn, Tobley's a genius, not a dipshit. I was wrong."
Not a total dipshit.
There's a lot of that. It's the same as like beats being bored, I guess. But Toby does say Yunapalooza is a Super Smash-rific success, but we mustn't let the success go to our heads. No, we must succeed again, but it's more. Well, do relax and enjoy it. The show, I mean. And then that's about it.
Okay.
And then I think you could just like I think it's the same exact thing, except we're not in the cutscene.
Okay.
And then we say, "Oh, how sensationally sensational, more or less."
More or less, it's fine.
Could be better.
It's fine.
Yeah, in this one, he does say, "This is a dream, mine. I mean, joining everyone's heart into one ginormous heart," and that just makes me think of the Franklin Institute, the giant human heart that you can walk through that smells really fucking gross. Not like on purpose. That's just like how giant plastic smells, but it's not like made to smell like the inside of a human heart.
It smells like people.
Yeah, it smells like a museum that a small hallway that many people go through.
But let's see.
He does say something that I agree with. He says, "Dear, I've talked too long, much too long." I agree. Shut the fuck up, Tobley.
Future customers await. Back to work. 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 And Toby says, "Oh, I nearly forgot. I'd like to ask your help again one of these days. I'd most politely like to formally request your later participation in advance."
Payne says, "Woohoo."
Love that. And that's it.
And then when we're back on the Celsius, Riku says, "If Tobley asks us to perform, tell him I want to be the star." And Payne says, "I don't want to be a part of that Blabberbeak show. Got it?"
Now, an interesting thing here is that, so I realized from our like hotspots, I still haven't gotten the Calmland hotspot to show up because I haven't done all the PR campaign. So right here, I went and started doing all the PR campaign in the areas we've already episode completed, right? And I was able to get the hotspot to show up. So like, it's there now. I have enough points to do it. Interestingly, right when you get enough points, it also changes Payne and Riku's dialogue. Like, you don't actually have to go to the Calmlands to do it.
Oh, cool.
They get one when you come back. And like Riku says like, "Oh, who do you think will end up winning, Argent or Open Air?" And then Payne's like, "Oh, I doubt it matters which one wins." But I
thought
thought it was interesting
true
that, like,
as well. It doesn't matter. Is that like a developer message?
yeah, I just thought it was interesting that you don't have to like see any scenes to get those to pop up if you
Well, that's cool. Yeah.
go get the points. But I was just saying that because right now is when I did it. We still have a little ways to go before we actually go to the Calmlands.
Yeah.
Don't care. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I'm also not doing it. Curtis is the one.
You're not making me work. Yuna's done with free labor.
I'm not doing fucking free publicity. Yeah.
We didn't get paid for the last two or so gigs we've done
what
this
the
game.
fuck?
I did also try going through the dossier in the hopes of getting a couple extra percentages, and it's very weird because again we were just talking about the camera angle being kind of random with how it like cycles through. From what I experienced on the dossier, when you're like checking each of the characters and like reading their little blurbs, they'll say something in their voice acting lines, and they'll say two things. But it doesn't just go back and forth between the two things. It seems like it's just like a random dice roll of which one you get. So sometimes you'll just hear like Riku say the same thing over and over again. It's like, Uni. It's like, oh my god, where's the other one?
Oh yeah, there's a little bit of that coming up, I think, with the Waka missions. I was trying to get all the fun.
And I did not get any extra percentage so far. So I'm hoping some of the characters that I don't have on there yet help me.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm definitely not getting 100%.
So So next is Guado Salam. If
Yup.
you are playing on the Switch, like
Yes.
Carl and I
Nomura
are,
says, "Fuck you."
the game says "fuck you." You know all these like scenes that aren't like ultra important to the plot. You can't take screenshots of any
No
of them.
screenshots, no notes.
Do not record what Trommel says. Do not look at Trommel in the eye when you talk to him.
You can't even look at Trommel's model.
I think you can't screenshot like any trauma scenes, right? Like when we could talk to him in the Makalonia Woods.
What kind of protection is Square trying to like give
It's
Trommel?
such a weird thing because, like, I would assume it has something to do with spoilers, and I guess it is a spoiler because, like, all of this has been gearing up to, like, oh, the Ronso are just gonna fucking kill all of the
Yeah,
Guado.
but,
So
like,
it's like,
Isn't everything a spoiler if you think about it that way?
yeah,
Like,
no, I agree. I'm saying it makes no fucking sense, but I'm saying like that's the,
like,
that's,
oh no, we've
it's dumb
spoiled
logic,
that.
but
Yeah, they let us spoil that the Al-Bhed have a machine or whatever that we have to fight. Come
but
on,
not that Trommel feels happiness once again.
I mean, I guess whomst amongst us did not walk away from FF10 wanting more Trommel content? That was
I need to know immediately what Trommel's getting up to in Spira post all of this
Whenever
shit.
Trommel's not on screen, people should be asking, where is Trommel? Where's Glup Shido?
he's truly the Glup Shido of this game. So I will have to refer to a big ol' script to see
Here
what in the
it
world he
is.
says.
We go to Guadalsalam, and there are some musicians performing in front of the the mansion.
Yeah, and we do
LaPlamp's
hear
mansion.
we do have the mission A Homecoming, and it says there's some strange music coming from Guadalsalam. I wonder who's playing. But this is different if you didn't do all the previous shit that we were doing. If you're on the episode concluded, the description actually says quiet streets. The LeBlanc Syndicate's goons are staying put. They're waiting for their boss's return.
Oh,
Oh.
So we don't hear any beautiful, beautiful music in Guadalsalam if we didn't do all of that correctly.
Interesting. Now like I said, I don't have all of the dialogue screenshot or whatever, so
I'm
I
just
can
saying.
certainly like summarize what happens. But if either of you want to talk about like the actual dialogue, be my guest.
But yeah, we walk up. Yeah, the musicians are playing a kind of remix, I guess, of Memories and Airwaves, right? Or Memories of Lightwaves. That's what it was.
Yeah, like the main menu theme.
The like title screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fucking banger.
The one that was basically not as good as my remix, personally.
True.
Eternity Memory of Lightwaves. That's what it was. I thought it was kind of stanky because the bass has this kind of like, this is like that kind of dwappy, like kind of hip hop.
Yeah, it's good. I really
It sounds
like
like
it.
it sounds like something, a default patch on the microKORG.
It is funny doing. Yeah, it really does. Yeah, it does also. It is very funny to follow up last mission complete with this one, where you're like, the music was like nothing, and everyone was like, "Whoa, going nuts and stuff," and then it's like this, and I'm just like, I was like literally acting like the people in the last episode, just rocking out to this song.
But so we're listening. People are kind of circling around, but Trommel comes up behind us, I think, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
There could be no sweeter melody. It is as if this music delivered the Guado from our unhappy fate, reviled by all of Spira. Most of my people decided to forsake Guadalsalam.
Basically, he's just kind of being very self-pity and just kind of reminding us that
Yeah.
that we, much like the musicians, we kind of ran off to the woods to die.
I think he's also kind of like, like we are with everything with Seymour, like we were guilty of like some horrible shit, and like we are deserving of our faith,
Yeah.
or of our fate, I should say.
But yeah, and basically what he says is that like hearing the musicians in the woods gave him like a renewed sense of purpose, where he was like, this music rips so much shit
He
that I
literally
cannot
says,
let
"I
it be
felt-
extinguished.
I felt a quickening in my blood. I was quite moved. I
All
could not stand
FF12
by
heads
and
out
let
there are
such
like, oh, Trommel can do a fucking quickening. Holy shit.
I could not stand by and let such exquisite music be extinguished. After consulting with the other Guado, I decided to bring them home to Guadalsalam.
Waiting for Guado.
Waiting for Guado, yeah.
Not a single Guado objected. It's been many years since such solidarity among my people. Surely this music was the salve that healed our weary hearts.
He
Yeah.
always sounds congested.
Yes. His voice acting is a top notch as always.
I love
It's
him.
very,
He's
very
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Oh, it's interesting
his gross
because
yaoi hands, but
I never looked at the like this script before. I usually just use the screenshots from the Switch. So it's interesting that like it does say in the script that like there are airship dialogues if you like leave now and don't complete the rest of the scene or whatever. So
True.
like if you go back to the airship right now, like Riku and Pain talk about like music and stuff. Or I'm sorry, Riku talks about music and Pain says stopping Garrick was the right thing to do. He would have attacked the Guado for sure.
Yeah.
yeah. So if we didn't do anything to stop the
Ronso.
this
By
whole mission
anything, we mean telling them what they want to hear sometimes and hoping we got the answers right.
sometimes agreeing with them about genocide and sometimes saying, "Oh, you're being a little harsh there, buddy."
Yeah.
But this whole scene would not exist. It would be the mission would be quiet streets. Oh, you already said that way. But
Yeah.
when we approach, when we beam down or whatever, I think we'll be reminiscing and we'll be seeing like kind of like echoes of Guado who were here
Damn,
before.
that's
And she says the memories of the Guado echo in the streets of Guao Salam, but there is nobody here to inherit them. What happens to memories when no one remains to speak of them? And so the Guado are gone, along with the music in that timeline.
Damn.
It's like, did you guys ever see that post that's like, one day, like the last person who will be remembering you will also die, and you will fade, and you will not be a memory anymore, and no one will know who you are, that you ever existed.
Yeah.
And then the response to that is, not if I eat the Mona Lisa. Trauma's just eating the Mona Lisa.
But yeah, the good timeline in which the Guado and the musicians live on continues.
Right.
And that's the end of the first Trommel cutscene.
Yeah, so there's several cutscenes here.
And there's more Guado here, which is nice because they've all
Yeah.
come back to Guao Salam.
If we go back and we talk to Trommel again, or go back, if we just talk to Trommel again, we don't actually have to leave, I think.
Well, I think it kicks us back to the airship. And
Oh,
then,
does it? My mistake.
Yeah,
My mistake.
I think so. There's some. It's hard for me to.
I couldn't take screenshots. I don't know.
Well, no. It's also weird because I have different dialogue here on the airship, which I assume is after the Trommel thing. So I think
Okay.
I probably went back to the airship and then was like, oh, okay, well, I have to go. Or you might be right. It's hard to say because fucking Nomura doesn't want me to take screenshots, and I refuse to write down notes.
Oh yeah, the musicians, if you talk to them, it's cute. Because they're like goons and Guado and the musicians, but
Yeah, the femme goon who says, "Don't you think it's a wonderful song? I totally want LeBlanc to hear this," which I agree.
Aw.
It's a wonderful song. I also want LeBlanc to hear it.
I want LeBlanc to sing it
Oh yeah.
like she did for the first one.
Fukutalk says, next time you prepare a song, I hope you let us play along. That'd be actually very cute.
I would love that.
Donga says, Bora, Pukar, and all the lads that come to live with us here.
Hell yeah.
Byra says, now and in the days to come, when asked of our home, we will speak of this town. Which is nice.
Yeah, which is nice. They found their new home as well.
Yeah.
But Trommel has gone over to this mysterious house that is kind of on the western side.
Well,
I
I
think,
think there's a scene before that, right?
Really?
Yeah, where Trommel becomes the new leader of the Guado.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because if we talk to Trommel right after that, we get another cutscene with him where he's talking about the Ronso. He's like, yeah, I know what we did to the Ronso is fucked up. And he says, like, if they came for vengeance tomorrow, I would accept it. I wouldn't fight them.
Yeah.
I would encourage it. It's fine. And Yuna's like, oh, they don't want to attack you. Like they're
Their new
over it.
leader is on top of it. He knows the geopolitical shit that
Yeah.
went on that wasn't,
And
there's
and
no
Trommel's
collective
like,
punishment for the Guado here, okay? Because of
yeah,
the fucking
and
scene.
Trommel's
A
like, well,
a
the-
two-state plan is in
Oh
place.
god. Oh god, no.
and Trommel says like, oh, the Guado 2 must pick a leader then. And Riku's like, oh, you should be the leader. And he's like, no, I helped Lord Seymour. I fucking did all kinds of terrible things. Like I would be like a terrible leader. And then the musicians all kind of like berate him a little bit, and they're like,
quit your belly aching.
quit your belly aching. Stop feeling bad for
You're
yourself.
being
like
a fine leader. And
They all start doing a cool dance, and they go, had to have high hopes for...
everyone do the trommel dance.
If we can light up Guado Salam, we can light up all of Spira.
I'm at Guado Salam with my phone, like in front of the musicians, and being like, "Oh, I hope they play Hot to Go."
Same.
But yeah, they all encourage Trommel or whatever, and he says like, I was only able to be strong through your music, and Payne's like, no, you're wrong. The music only helped you unlock your inner strength. And Trommel says, oh, you really think so? Then I will work these old bones as best I can for my beloved Guado. And Pukatak says, if you're ever feeling weary, we'll play a song to make you cheery. And that's the scene that gives us the episode complete. Yay! So everything worked out for the Guado and Trommel. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the end of the game. We'll see you next season.
We're doing Final Fantasy 11.
That's right. But like you were saying, Alex, there is also a little door to the side, like a building, a house we have not been able to get into for the entire game.
Right.
Oh, there is also dialogue from I think Riku and Payne. Did we go over that? Did I just?
If we go
space out
back to
completely?
the airship right now.
Yeah. It says unifying an entire race can't be easy, but if Pop can do it, so can Trommel. Which is what Riku says. Just talking about how her dipshit dumbass dad was able to unite all of the Al-Bhed, so surely Trommel can do it too. Payne says Trommel has resolve. If he holds to it, he'll make a fine leader. So got the fucking Payne endorsement, which is a hard one to get, but he got some of those coveted Payne respect points as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can go back to...
Yeah, go back to Guado Salam.
I know the musicians have a lot of nice things to say.
I think
about.
in just anything in Guado Salam at this point, we cannot screenshot at all. I guess because this is like an involved quest. But yeah, in that little room, we can talk to Trommel, and he gives us something that's pretty useful, right?
A key. Or something else.
I think he gives us a sphere, doesn't he?
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Yeah, he gives us barrelized sphere.
Oh, no, he doesn't give it us. We pick it up inside.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
In the house. But yeah,
I guess it would be kind of weird if Trommel had that. He's like, oh yes, I was just rooting around.
But we do get barrelized sphere. But before that, Trommel's just outside this house and kind of gives us a lowdown of basically what this house is. It's like, oh, Lady Yuna, I'm glad you're here. Please feel free to take anything you need. And she asks, what is this place? This was to be the final resting place of the memories of Guado. Before leaving, we carefully stored away those things we had passed down for generations. So basically, it's like a kind of like a museum or like a safety deposit box for them, I think. Like they basically just put all their shit in there before they moved out.
I can't remember. Was this accessible in 10?
It was, I think, but we couldn't really do anything this whole game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know it wasn't.
It was
this game, but
we had like a suspicious, like, oh, there's something over there, or we can't get in there. I forget.
It's like that would have been fucking nuts if they just had a locked door that you could not get in for all of 10, and then they're like, yeah, let's bring it back in 10 too, and you can go in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Trommel says, I'm told that some of us stole back. What does that say? I told that some of us stole back here for a nostalgic glance at lust. What? All right.
Yeah, some of them came back for like to look at Guado Salam, and they basically what happened is like the Guado put their like historical relics in this room as kind of like a once we are gone, this will be like the last evidence of us, right? And basically Trommel's like, you've helped us so much that you deserve to inherit the memory of the Guado. Like if it wasn't for you, like we wouldn't be existing. So anything in here you should consider your own like personal property, right?
Yeah.
And when we go in, we do receive barrelized sphere. I think is it from the
from a chest?
It's from a chest, and then a person gives us an item, right?
Yeah, I think we get a
So it's something different depending on
a tempered will. GG.
It depends on what we did.
Oh.
And here's
yes.
I've alluded to this before. I know before we did Mihan High Road in Chapter 5, and even before that in the series, I've been like, yo, the best item in the game is coming up. And I thought about it because I thought it was the Mihan High Road Riku reward, but that's Ragnarok. This is where...
is very good.
The Ragnarok is very good. This is even better. But to get it, you have to fuck some stuff up. So we get the Tempered Will because we've done everything, right? We got Trauma, we got the episode complete, we get the Tempered Will garment grid. Awesome. But
oh, damn, yeah. I'm just looking at this now. Holy shit.
there is an item that you can get from this called the Key to Success. And if you get the Key to Success and you equip it on somebody, it gives you double AP, double experience, double gil, and double items. It doubles the effectiveness of all recovery and attack items.
Wow.
Gives you 100% plus HP, 100% plus MP, and 100% plus luck. Insane.
What the fuck?
And so, like, I remember when I was younger and had the PS2, like, I was actually playing on a PS2, I went through 3 really fast plays to get 3 keys to success, and then did a 4th play and tried to max everybody out, because it was a lot
that's so
easier having the
sick.
double AP.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
wild.
how do you get that?
You have to do the Moonflow missions correctly, and do everything up to a point correctly, but then let Garrick wipe out the Guado.
That is so fucked up.
It's fucked up. Yeah. So you have
That
to
is so
basically do
fucked
everything
up.
except for that correct.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
I would
guess I'm
have
never
liked to
getting it.
have that. Yeah, I'm never gonna do that.
I will
Holy
next
shit.
playthrough. Yeah.
Yeah,
them
maybe
Guado.
on New Game Plus I'll do that.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
We don't have to know about it. We don't have to
Oh,
look
you
it
can
up.
you can consume one of it as well to teach a creature Gillionaire, which
Boo.
is
Less good. Less
a
good.
thing, yeah, a thing that I already have on Yuna. So why
Yeah.
would I bother?
But yeah, key to success, insane. Insane.
Oh, you can also win it in the Farplane Cup.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
So this is in like the international version, I guess.
Okay.
Which sounds pretty easy. Farplane Cup is the final and most difficult tournament of the Fiend Arena.
Oh, well,
It's
never mind. I'm
unlocked-
never doing it.
It is unlocked by beating every other cup other than the almighty Shinra Cup at least once.
Almighty Shinra Cup.
Fuck
Bastard.
Shinra.
Can't wait till he goes back to school or whatever.
In the Farplane Cup, at times, the player may also encounter characters from Final Fantasy X, including Tidus, Auron, and Seymour.
Yo, fuck yes, that's awesome.
Wow.
Okay.
Seymour and Auron can be recruited.
Dude, just having Seymour, oh, that's pretty sick.
That's actually it's cool.
I can fix him. I can make him worse.
You could teach him Gillionaire.
Yeah, just feed him the key to success so he has Gillionaire.
So that's
Tempered
Guado
Will
Salam.
should be noted is also pretty good.
Oh, yeah?
It has 2 of the little dongle things that we have to go through on the little grid.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you would have to do like 3 steps to get there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 steps. But the green one gives you double HP, and the red one gives you double MP.
Oh, I'm always going through my dongles
Oh yeah, you got
to
it.
get,
You,
to
you
get
got
extra
it.
effects.
I think that's what they're called in the game manual. I just read it, so.
So that's all I got for this section. I have not played on to the Thunder Plains.
Sure. I mean, that's a pretty chunky section that we covered today.
Well, do we want to talk about Paralyzed Sphere, though?
Oh, let's talk about
I think we
Paralyzed
probably
Sphere.
should. That seems kind of important, right?
Yeah.
It kind of paints things, events that happened in Final Fantasy X while we were not familiar with Barrel Eye. We were not familiar with Barrel Eye's game.
No.
Yeah. But, yeah, we go into back to the ship, load up the sphere, and it is, for some reason, just someone filming a conversation between Barrel Eye and Seymour in his, like, banquet hall.
In his goon cage.
Oh. I didn't watch this. Sorry, go.
You didn't?
Oh damn!
Do
Yeah,
tell.
no, this
Do
is
tell.
wild. Yeah, Barreleye says the Crimson Squad is no more. Maester Keenock betrayed us, and my friends, they turned on me as well. I have no place else to go. And then Seymour's there, his back is to the camera, and he says, "Then why do you come to me? I too am a Maester of Yevon." Barreleye says, "I don't suppose Maester Keenock and a certain other Maester might be vying for power behind the scenes." Seymour says, "So an enemy of an enemy is a friend." And Barreleye says, "I will not fail you." Seymour says, "Very well. I will take you under my wing. Consider any record of your association with the Crimson Squad erased." Barreleye
Wow.
says,
Except for the sphere, apparently.
except for this, yeah. Well, if he needs to blackmail him, I guess. "You have my thanks. I will go into hiding until the time is right," which is a very good way for them to be like, yeah, Barreleye was in hiding for all of the events of Final Fantasy X until
This does
Seymour.
feel very like Star Wars prequel.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
It's like, I guess Yoda's just going off to fuck off to Dagobah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, shit's gone sideways. I'm out of here until the second movie.
But yeah, we see Barreleye walk around the table of eternal fruit that is just always there and never changing.
The table of eternal fruit.
And then whoever's filming the sphere is speaking. He says, "Is this wise, Your Grace? Who knows what he might be planning?" And Seymour says, "I can use him.
I can fix
like
him.
the High Summoner's daughter. I don't recall asking your opinion."
Wow, I can't believe I didn't see any of that.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Trauma walks in. He says, "The shoe puff carrying Lady Yuna has crossed the Moonflow. Now then, shall we begin preparations to welcome my lord's future wife?"
Oh,
And then
damn, that
Seymour
was
turns
right
to the
before we-
camera, and we see his face again, his horrible, horrible face. And he just says, "Very well." And then it cuts out.
Oh wow, so that happened like right before we got there, like as we were
we just
walking.
missed
Yeah,
him.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like, obviously, it's canon because it happens in this game,
Yeah,
but it's also
yeah,
like
yeah.
this is retcon. The developers didn't have Barreleye.
If we played
envisioned.
FF10 fast enough, we would have seen Barreleye.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly. If you look real close, right after you get off the shoe puff, you can see Barreleye running out of
booking
Guadus
it.
a lot. Yeah, but no, I am always a sucker for that shit. I'm like, oh, I remember where I was when that was happening. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it wasn't happening, but it was in the canon.
It
That's
tickles me
awesome.
the same way that like Back to the Future Part 2 does. Or like
Oh my
all
god, I love Back to the Future Part 2
Yeah,
so fucking
yeah,
much.
it's really
That shit
good.
works on me. That is
Or
like
just,
why
he's just creeping around the background, basically, of the first movie. Like,
so good. I love it. I saw that when I was a kid, and I think that just kind of made me love anything that involves time travel, no matter how how many plot holes there are, or how
it feels very modern.
little
Also,
sensitive.
it's like, what did people love the first movie? Okay, well, the second movie is we have to fix the first movie.
Yeah, so
We have
good.
to save the
Fucking-
first movie from getting fucked up.
And then they do it even better in the third movie by making it a cool western.
Yeah, yeah.
I do love the third one.
That should be that more film trilogies should follow that. Like, imagine if Aliens 3 or whatever was a western instead.
They should do it.
They should do it.
Honestly, yeah, they should do that instead of trying to bring it to Earth. Just put it in the Wild West.
Put it in the wild.
That'd
Put
be
it in the
so
wild.
good. Yeah,
If you're
Alien
making a
versus
series
Predator
of anything,
versus Cowboys.
yeah, always do like the first one is all your big ideas. The second one is a meta reference to the first one, and then the third one is Wild West. Like,
Fuck
perfect,
yeah.
no notes. Final
I feel
Fantasy
like
X-3, Wild West.
I am going to say that this also applies to the Men in Black series in that I don't even think it lined up time-wise, but Men in
Wild
Black
West.
1, Men in Black 2, Wild Wild West. Same cinematic universe. Will Smith is the same character.
That's right.
Will Smith also, didn't he turn down the role of Neo in The Matrix to be in Wild Wild West?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, that was me with Zaku. Like, it just turned out better from the end.
I
Had I
suppose.
joined if I played bass in Zaku, Dino would not be in Zaku.
It's true. I
Yeah.
mean, Robbie loves to have two basses in a band. You should get in there.
Yeah,
anyway. I think Robbie would also be like, sick, I don't have to play bass.
Yeah.
I also went to the dossier because one of the characters that was missing is now there, and I can look at it. And it's
Seymour?
Seymour. We get to look at Seymour's model. And
What does that fucker have to say?
I forget what he says. He just says Lady Yuna or some shit. It doesn't matter. It's not very interesting, like what his
Eat
voice
my
says.
shorts.
But yeah, the descriptions. He says, "I'm a big dumb idiot with a big butt, and I also like to smell my own butt." I think. But yeah, the description just says, the leader of the Guado and one of 4 maesters of Yevon, he sought to use Sin's power to drown Spira in the slumber of death. In the end, Yuna sent him to the far plane. Just pretty fucking hard. Pretty cool description.
Yeah.
Spoilers for Final Fantasy X, by the way. Anyone listening, sorry.
Yeah, if you played it, if you're listening to the podcast in the order that I originally played the games. You know.
Ooh, that's really sick. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. I love that.
Yeah. I'd never played 10 until I beat 10 too. And I was like, I should see what this is about.
I feel like there's probably a good number of people that have done that as well.
Yeah.
So what I'm
saying
saying is, Curtis, you're not special.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right, well, that's all I got for today.
Yeah.
Do y'all have any closing thoughts on this section?
Yeah, fuck Seymour. Rest in piss.
Get him.
I'm excited to be almost in the finale section of this walkthrough.
Yeah.
We got to go excavate and I guess also hit up Thunderplanes. When did we do the antenna tuning? Isn't that a thing in this game?
That's Thunderplanes.
I didn't do it when I cleared out Thunderplanes.
I think if you go back to the Thunderplanes right afterwards, you do it.
Do you have to do that?
I hope not.
Is it good?
It's good except for the last tower. And the last tower is too fucking hard.
Maybe I'll try it before next week.
Yeah, I might. I know. I
was getting excited for rhythm games.
It's really fun until you get to the final one.
All right,
oh,
cool.
Man.
I'll try it.
Yeah, I think I'll try it too.
All right.
I'll do it.
No stone will go unturned by me in this game unless it has to do with PR missions or that fucking incel.
And we love lightning dodging, friends.
Yeah.
Honestly, not my. I'm a rare person who has gone to bat for lightning dodging. I like that significantly more than some of the other
on stream with your fiance. And just hey, let's lightning dodge. It'll be really fun.
I was like, we need to kill some time.
I've been like, Carl did it. I should just do a stream where I just lightning dodge.
Yeah,
do nothing else.
That would be a good chat redeem. Like, oh, I gotta fucking dodge 100 lightning before I can end stream. I have to do 100.
Should play the Tony Hawk special sound effect every time you do it.
Oh, that would be so good. Yeah, or like the orc hit that plays when you pause NHL hits 2002.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Next time we will start at the Thunder Plains and then go for a while. I forget. I don't have the walkthrough up in front of me.
We'll have to do Beacon Desert, Mount Gagazet, Calmlands.
That'd probably be it. I feel like we've been doing like 3 sections.
And then talk about some excavating, maybe.
Yeah.
Or Cactuar Nation, even. Who knows?
Sure.
Is this in there? Cactuar Nation. I guess there's a Jumbo Cactuar coming up. We'll talk.
There will
it.
be.
Oh, this is. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the whole thing like Beacon Desert. This is some Cactuar searching, not unlike last time.
Yeah, the thing is like a couple of the things coming up are like kind of long, like the hunting in Beacon Desert. It's like, oh, just go hunting, but like that takes forever. So
yeah.
Oh well, it is what it is.
I wish there was a way that I could just cheat in the PR stuff so I could just do the Calmlands thing and not have to actually...
Yeah.
I'm just going to watch a video.
Do you all have announcements?
Well, this Friday, you are playing.
October the 26th, we're playing Orpheus Garden, which I believe is a basement. You have a show on 26th, Alex? Is that you? Or
Talking about stage clear?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Are you doing anything on that one?
I'm not performing, but I'm helping document it.
Okay. That's right.
I'm just on the team.
Okay. So you got options. You want to hang out with me or hang out with Alex? Go hang out either one of those shows on the 26th.
The 26th, it starts at 2.
I guess whichever, dear listener, whatever PR mission you have more investment in, Alex or Curtis, that... choose wisely.
Yeah, but make sure you get your points.
You will
for
get
that.
an episode concluded with one and an episode complete with the other.
That's right. And that is all I have for now. Although I will be in San Jose for MagWest. So if you are out that way, come say hi.
I'd love to go there sometime.
Yeah,
Same.
I'm excited to do so.
One of these days I won't have major vet bills that tank any chance I have at traveling that year.
Yeah. Well, Alex, would you like to take this and shove it? Wait, do you want to use that one for the outro? That'll be a good one on the outro. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Outro? What?
Well, you always do like an outro podcast quote.
Oh, I already got one.
Okay, good.
Anyway.
I was getting ready to do it. I was going to say, do you want to take this podcast and shove it? And I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah, I can push it. You get that joke? Yeah.
No.
But push it real good.
Oh, I was like, it's just a Static X song to me. I don't get how it relates to FF10 So yes,
hey, shove it.
Every time I hear "Push It," I just think of that other "Push It" song.
Thank you for listening. Once
Thank
again,
you, Salt and Peppa, for the music.
Yeah.
Push It.
Thank
Thank you, Static X, for Push It.
Push it. Thank you to Daft Punk for that Technologic song. I don't remember the lyrics, but Push It's in there somewhere. Bop It. Thanks to Bop It. Thank you, Narika Matsuda and Takahiko Iguchi, for the game music. Even your silly honkin' tunes from the Moonflow. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to wherever you're listening to us. And you can find us at EveryFNFF on X/Twitter/Blue Sky, Instagram, YouTube, and you can hop into our Discord to keep on top of other things. And surely this podcast was the salve that healed our weary hearts.
A rare positive one. Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
Nice.
See you next
We're
week.
practicing self-care.
The Guado weren't right about everything. Goodbye.